Hello, GRC119. Just wanted to go over the Pivot download, how to find it and install it. First of all, I wanted to talk about the syllabus. Remember here that it says comfort using a recent Windows operating system is strongly recommended. So if you have a Mac, you're going to run into some problems, and you may have to find different programs that will do the same things. If you need additional instruction on that, just let me know, okay? Again, many different Windows-based software applications related to multimedia will be used, not for Mac. So either find a friend that has a Windows operating system or go to the lab and use their computers, okay? If you have a Mac and you need help, please let me know. Now, we're going to go to the class website because we're in Module 6, right? So I'll go ahead and go to the class website where the Pivot download is supposed to be. Week 6, and it says, oh, Pivot animation software download. So you would think you would go to this site, which I'm sure most, if not all of you did. Now, right away, it says start download. You do not want to click something like this. You want to make sure you're reading the small print. You may go, oh yeah, there it is, I'm just going to download it. But you have to read these, especially with freeware and shareware. They're going to try to get you to download all kinds of stuff. In this case, File Opener Pro. You don't want this. If you're reading this, it says, this program can no longer be downloaded. You can look for alternatives. So this is directing you to go to the next website. So I'm going to go ahead and go there and see what we have. And then it says Pivot Animator right here. Okay, well, let's go there and see if that's what I need. So we'll go there, and then of course, if some of you did this, you see that it's the same exact site. So now what do? Now we're stuck, right? Well, here's a good place where you can post in the hallway conversations. Say, hey, I'm looking for this pivot animation and I can't find the download anywhere. So how do we do that? Let's go ahead and go back to the course modules. And I'm going to go to discussions. Wait for it to load here. And then I'm going to go to hallway conversations. This is the first place you want to go if you're having problems with the class, because if you're having problems, the case usually is that everybody else is too, right? So I'm going to go down, and of course, thank you to Melanie and Hiram for posting this. They actually did have a problem, and they did go to the hallway conversations and ask for help. I must have clicked that twice. Sorry about that. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the bottom here. She's saying she's having problems, so is Hiram. And then here, I responded to you. Make sure you are reading the screens carefully. With freeware, shareware, there's a large number of misdirections, so on and so forth. And then I provide you with the link for Pivot. See it right there in the address, Pivot Stick Figure Animator. So I'm going to go there. And you can see right here in the tab it says, well, you can't see that, but it says thank you for downloading. And you can see here how many download buttons there are. You don't want to go crazy and start clicking a bunch of download buttons unless you know what they are. So don't click this, don't click this, don't click any of this. The link I provided is an automatic download link. So given a moment here, once it loads all the stuff they're trying to give you, it will pop up with a file and it's going to save. Okay, so I had to fast forward a little bit because it was loading so many ads and other files that it took a while. But here we go. It should work relatively quickly, and you should see this, Pivot Setup exe. That's an executable file. You want to be careful with these. So just save it. I saved mine to the desktop, so I always know where it is. And let's go ahead and find that. And here it is, Pivot Setup. Now, the first thing I do with executable files, you should have some security installed on your computer. So I have Avast online. I'm going to scan it. And no threat found. So we're safe, right? So then I'll double-click it to run it. Now, when you're installing freeware and shareware, you have to be very careful because just like on the websites, they're going to try to get you to install a bunch of things you don't want to install. So you want to read everything. Okay, we're good here. You want to read the terms of use. So you actually want to go to the website and read and see what's going on here before you download stuff. I know it's a lot of information, but when you install software, you don't want to just say yes to everything they have. You never know what's going to be in there. And after you read everything, terms of service and privacy policy, you come to the next screen, special offers. And it says here, by clicking agree and install, you're agreeing to everything. You're agreeing to the express install, which includes Yahoo, search engine, Spigot, all these settings. You don't want that to happen. So you want to custom install, unclick all of these. You don't want any of that, right? Agree, then you agree and install. And then again, it's going to tell you all these things. So you want to read this, make sure you're not getting anything you don't want, make sure you understand what's going on, agree and install. And then it's going to actually install, finally, the Pivot software. And there we go. Welcome to the Pivot Stick Figure Animator. You read this EULA, End User License Agreement. You accept it. It's going to install it. Again, you want to check this. Express is going to install Adware Web Companion. Do you want that? No. So custom. You don't want that stuff. Next. Again, you want to see? Then something's popping up on my screen already trying to get me to install things. Custom. I don't want this. See, and this is going to happen sometimes when you download things like this. Unfortunately. Do the README text, finish. It's going to tell you all about Pivot, how to use it, and then here we have, and see, this is something that's going to happen, unfortunately. So you want to get rid of this. And you can do that by going to Programs and removing programs. And unfortunately, that's just the part we have to play when we're getting free things. Okay, so here's the Pivot software, and there we go, Pivot. And I know that's a lot of steps, but that's what you're going to see when you're downloading freeware and shareware. So just be careful. If you have questions, let me know. Thanks.